Hello everyone, my name is Thomson, and today I will be showing you how I cast things using the lost styrofoam method. I will be using this foundry to melt the aluminum in. As you can see, it is a modified propane tank. It has handles welded onto it, the top cut off, and a pipe welded into a hole for the air intake. I was inspired to start melting metal as soon as I watched Grant Thomson, the king of random, show off his foundry that he made on his channel. If you are into DIY projects and you haven't heard of him already, I highly recommend checking him out. I tried making my foundry like his, but as time went on, it evolved farther away from his design. I couldn't find a metal bucket, so my neighbor helped me modify that propane tank. I tried doing the silica sand and plaster of Paris mixture to line the walls of the foundry, but it was very delicate and cracked with the heat. So I chopped up bricks that are used for making fireplaces, and using a fire-resistant plaster, cemented them in place. It works very well, and I highly recommend this method if you're going to make one yourself. There are still some things that are from Grant Thomson's design though. My air intake is an old hairdryer, and I am using an old fire extinguisher as my crucible, just like his. Now, when I say old fire extinguisher, I really mean old. It was made in the 1930s, and as a consequence of the time it was made in, it is made of solid steel. It is very good at withstanding the amount of heat that I subject it to. I am using a high-density type of styrofoam that I found on Junk Day. I find that this works best for castings that are high in detail, such as the ones that I am doing today. I am casting two things, a Japanese symbol for a good friend of mine, and my girlfriend's and my own initials. Here you can see that I am cutting the thick styrofoam about 3/4 of an inch in from the good side. I don't need to have all that styrofoam in there. Here I am filtering out the sand and getting rid of lumps and other debris that might mess up these castings. This is actual casting sand that will become very stiff when a little water is added to it, perfect for doing cope and drag castings. However, we are just using buckets to cast in, so there is no need to make it wet. If you don't have this kind of sand, any fine play sand will do just great. If you're going to be casting into buckets like I am, you want to be careful that the thing that you're casting is below the rim of the container. This reduces the danger of spilling over the edge if you miss. The pipe that I am putting in there is a vented tube. Because the styrofoam releases a lot of gases and smoke when the aluminum hits it, the idea is that the fumes will escape through the pipe and not through the casting, thus preventing disturbance in flow of the metal and potentially damage to the overall shape. Alright, time to get the foundry lit. Hadn't done this in a while, but I got it eventually. I apologize in advance for the vertical videos shot with my phone. I completely forgot how bad it looks on YouTube, so please bear with me. Alright, that was embarrassing. So, here are the cringeworthy vertical videos for you. Sorry again. I am using ingots that I had previously melted and purified to get the purest aluminum that I could. The way that I purify my aluminum is with a substance called degasser, or flux. Essentially, it works by making bubbles when exposed to molten aluminum. The bubbles bring up all the impurities throughout the metal and bring them to the surface, where they can then be scooped out. And I'm really sorry about the shadow. Again, thank you for bearing with me. I highly recommend that you rehearse a pour like I am doing here. As soon as you take the crucible out of the foundry, you are losing heat. The hotter the aluminum is, the better the pour. It is easy to think that you can go right ahead and start pouring, but what if something gets in your way? Then you have to maneuver around it or get into an awkward position in order to pour it. That loses you a lot of heat.
Got that in the recording there.
And here is the reveal of all of our pours today. We'll also be showing off how hot the aluminum still is even after it's hardened. So, just watch and I'll play some guitar for you. And this is the final product after cutting the tailings off, sanding the face down, and buffing it out. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something. Thank you very much for watching.